It's been a little while since I made any videos. So I got 20 miles on the race bike engine so far. Had a few leaks, had some problems, wasn't starting. I limped it home from breakfast one morning. It wasn't running very good. And what I found was the spark plug boot. I'll show you a measurement here. It's the resistor cap, and the resistor was showing open, so I was getting no continuity through. I was checking my wires, checking everything, getting pretty frustrated, and then I decided to check the cap and the wire, and the cap was bad. So I put a new cap on, and it started making spark again first thing. Alright, so I'm going to use my meter on continuity to check this resistor cap. So there's continuity between this and absolutely nothing between that. We can check a bolt if we want to. Nothing. So that caused me a little bit of heartache. I've never ever seen these ever fail before. First time for everything. Anyway, what do we do with failed parts so we don't put them on again? There. See ya. Anyway, so if you're ever having some firing problems, check battery, check voltage, check your coil wire, and check your resistor caps just in case that could be a point of failure. Anyway, I grabbed a new cap at the local Canadian Tire, $5, and I got my spark back. Oh, the old 66 Sears bike is back home last week from its 3-year journey to Cape Breton. Anyway, I went to go to breakfast last Sunday, and the clutch cable got super slack. I was about a kilometer from home, and I limped over to the side of the road, and as soon as I would touch the clutch cable this grinding noise was coming in from here. So I was able to take all the slack out of the clutch just to get enough to get it back into gear and limp back home. And then I took the Suzuki. I've been driving the Suzuki like crazy. I didn't show a first start on it, but anyway, I was more worried about trying to get it going than filming it. Hello, Buster. So I was trying to get some miles on the race bike engine to break it in before winter comes, and I've got 15 miles on it so far, and 2 breakdowns. So anyway, tonight we're gonna strip this apart and see what's going on with the clutch mechanism. Not quite sure. This thing always had bad starting problems. I think it has mismatched cases, so nothing's really lined up. But I think they used to bump start this when it was a race bike, so the starter mechanism wasn't even in it when I got the bike. I built it out of pieces on the internet, but anyway, something I think let go. So we'll get back to you when we get her opened up. So I didn't get the video of when we took the side cover off, but I'll show you what happened on the street engine. So here's where the Kickstarter gears go into the transmission, and the clutch rod comes through. And it's held on by a spring and a washer and a nut. And we took the cover off, this nut, as soon as I touched it, fell off. So what was happening was the gears for the Kickstarter were pushing out, and when I was trying to pull the clutch in, it was trying to actuate the rod. The two of them were grinding into each other. So I wasn't able to push the clutch rod in because it wouldn't push past the gears. But what I found was this actual nut that's on here, I went and looked on this engine, and it has a sleeve in it. That's part of the nut that rotates freely, but it's part of the whole unit. And this nut was just on it from when this was a track bike. They didn't have a Kickstarter, so they must have just put this nut on just to hold everything in place. But it doesn't work properly, so we took the one off of this engine and put it on the race bike engine, and we Loctited and we peened it just a little bit to in case it decides to back off, but I think that's what the problem was. So that problem's all fixed up now, so it starts up first kick every time, and hopefully soon we can take it out for a little test drive and it works this time. I'm gonna take the old BSA out for its first speed test run. I got a speedometer just for a little more accuracy. I've got an undisclosed location. I'm going to go out and give it a couple of tries to see what this thing is going to do. I'll take some screenshots of the speedometer when I'm finished, just to see kind of where I'm at. The first thing I'm going to try is a 3rd gear top speed run, and then I'll see what happens if it feels like I can push it a little harder. So after all the riding, we have 77 plus 10, 87 miles on the engine so far. So the last 50 miles have been trouble-free, and a couple of speed runs. And so far it's hanging in there. So a little more test and tuning, and hopefully we can hit some goals.